mTwDIMAGA, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Kylaris, and today I'm going to be bringing you a pro game between mTwDIMAGA and the one and only DuckloadRa. I have not, as I say, I have not been keeping up with the scene as of late, just catching one or two snippets. Actually, I did watch the GSTL in the past couple of days, and that was fantastic. I MC'd Victory for Victory, yeah! He is a cool guy, and so we're going to be looking today, as I said, a game from DuckloadRa, and I heard that DuckloadRa kind of went downhill for a while from being married, and then it got really good again. So what better way to start our pro game season of looking at games than looking at DuckloadRa and his play, because DuckloadRa is the king of toss when it comes to the EU. I'm trying to think of anybody better than DuckloadRa in the EU when it comes to toss. I can't think of anybody though. You've got all the other people, you know, all the goods like Soke and people like that, but DuckloadRa really stands out when it comes to EU, and hopefully one day me. No, it's just not gonna happen. I did beat my first Masters Leaguer though today, and it was a complete face roll. I don't understand how has this game gone downhill so much. But anyway, oh well, doesn't matter, does not matter. So DuckloadRa here, just going to be chrono boosting out a few probes, getting that nicely timed assimilator as well as that obvious gateway, and DIMAGA here, not doing anything too tricky. And did I hear right that DMuslim is not in MTW anymore? That's crazy. He's in EG now, and then he broke his hand having a fight with someone in a bar. Oh wow, drama, absolute soap style drama in StarCraft 2 right now. So DuckloadRa are going to be throwing down this pylon very early, watching out for these rocks. It's obvious that he has just scouted this location, so he's throwing down that pylon nice and early so he can get a spot on those rocks, since they are in these kind of cross horizontal positions. So that's going to be very good for spotting. And going to be throwing this probe out here, just kind of keeping an eye on whether an expansion's going down. Nothing going down just yet. And DIMAGA is getting his speed up though, as well as that first queen. A few Zerglings coming out to get rid of this probe, and they shall be able to do that in due course. That Cybernetics core now going down, and DIMAGA does see everything that's going on right now. No second gas for DuckloadRa just yet. I personally like to get a really fast second guess. I don't know why, it's just kind of a personal preference I have. Although that being said, in a few of my games I do end up a bit gas high, so that's not good. A bit gas high, that could be interpreted as something else, whoops. But now DIMAGA is throwing down that expansion, but it seems that DuckloadRa doesn't really care that much. Has he actually seen it though? That's what I want to know. No, he hasn't seen that expansion going down just yet. He's brought this probe out to this watchtower in order to be able to make sure that it doesn't end up getting picked off by those Zerglings. And we're going to have Zerglings incoming on the base very soon, but Duckload looking to prepare for that expansion pretty early on in this game. Does have that Stalker out now, so it's going to be able to shoo off this Overlord, and this Zealot and Probe are going to be able to shoo off these Zerglings, but no, they're coming in for another round, trying to get that probe, and they're going to get the probe. This is like Benny Hill. Oh, they do get the probe. But I'm not so sure that was really worth it. Actually, no, it's a probe. It could have made him money, so it's probably worth it. Now just chrono boosting more probes out, queuing up a few, and still no warp gate research being researched right now. So we do have 3 gateways out for DuckloadRa. DIMAGA not doing anything too tricky as of yet. That base is going up. And I'm surprised that he's not nibbling away at these back rocks or doing something with this mass amount of Zerglings that he has produced. I'm really quite surprised he's produced this many Zerglings this early on in the game, because as a Zerg player, you really don't want to... I need to put myself on busy. How do I put myself on busy now? Why do I have this lag? What the hell's going on? Oh, there we go. I was clicking on everything then. So, breaking down these rocks, and I don't know what that does. So we do have this Zergling at this watchtower here, keeping a watchful eye over anything going on. And I'm really quite surprised, unless he intended to break down these rocks really early, which is what he's doing currently. This amount of Zerglings just wasn't really required this early on. There could have been a lot of drones, I'm pretty sure I didn't suspect any early pressure from Duckload, as he is setting up for that expansion, and that expansion indeed has gone down. He does have Forge coming out as well. and just throwing pylons everywhere to keep an eye on the corners of his base. This Roach Warren, excuse me, almost complete, and it seems that DIMAGA is going to be spreading that creep from both of these bases, maybe out into the center of the map, in order to give himself a nice foothold on map control if he so chooses. So, DuckloadRa now going to be throwing down that Stargate, and I'm very, very happy to see a Stargate because I absolutely love Protoss airplay, and I can't believe why I have so much lag. It's because I don't have an external HD drive thingy-majigga-ma-ma. That's why. And nice placement of the photon cannon up here, actually. It's going to prevent a lot, even if like an attack did get into here or whatever, they would still need to actually even go around to destroy the cannon, as opposed to the cannon being placed like here or here. So indeed, nice placement of that cannon. It's also going to keep an eye on any kind of burrowing roaches that do come along. And maybe, has he actually scouted burrowing roaches? I'm not so sure. He hasn't scouted roaches just yet. We do see these back rocks going down very, very slowly. These triple rocks do have 3 armor, and these guys hit for 5, so that's going to go down extremely slowly. The Phoenix now coming out, gonna trying to assert. Ooh, I'm on everyone. DIMAGA cam. Gonna try and assert some dominance when it comes to the map, and he's gonna be able to try and pick off some of these overlords. Gonna get a few pot shots, but these queens are gonna come in and shoo this Phoenix away anytime soon. And once these shields go down, DuckloadRa will indeed run away with that. Evolution Chamber now going down for DIMAGA, as well as a Hydralisk then. And we do have another Phoenix coming out for DuckloadRa, and this is interesting. I really like Phoenix play, and especially since the last patch. From what I know, it's the build time's been reduced, so that is an absolute fantastic tool in order to be able to stock up a ton of Phoenix, and especially with the Void Ray, when you actually do get kind of a Void Ray Phoenix mix, they really complement each other really well, since the Phoenix do indeed do bonus damage to light, whilst the Void Rays do a little bit of bonus damage to armored, so they really do complement each other. And also, if you do include Void Rays in your mix, and should people actually start trying to focus those down, then your ground army ends up doing a hell of a lot of damage, and if they don't focus down the Void Rays, your Void Rays end up doing a hell of a lot of damage. So it's a win-win situation if you really want to kind of include those Void Rays in your main composite army, which is what I'm trying to do with my army as of lately. If you end up going for that Death Ball thing. And I'm sure you've heard this many a time from other casters and from Day9 and people like that, but including Void Rays is becoming sort of more of a standard. I see it quite a lot in these replays that I've been watching over this past couple of days, and we do see Burrow coming out now for DIMAGA, so this cannon right here is going to pay dividends for itself if they do indeed come along this path. We will actually, we've already got cannons here as well, so that's very nice. Really nice kind of anticipating that kind of Burrow play, but we do also have a Spire coming down as well as Glial Reconstitution for these roaches, so these roaches are going to be buffed to the max, although we don't actually have Tunneling Claws coming up. So I wouldn't be surprised if we did see Tunneling Claws coming along in the near future. So we do have +1 weapons going down for the Protoss for ground, as well as +1 weapons for air, and a robotics bay going down. I did miss that robo facility. I didn't miss it, but I just didn't call it out. And more Void Rays coming out for DuckloadRa as well, and tons of roaches coming out. But all these Void Rays doing a really good job here of spotting this hatchery going up, and he's going to be coming. He doesn't actually have anything to save this. Oh my god! So this is going to be a free hatchery kill here for DuckloadRa. And he is trying to bring some units, but it's going to be too little too late, I'm afraid, as that hatchery is gone. So really nice play there by DuckloadRa, scouting out that base, and you should always, when you're against Zerg, you really don't want them to get too many bases ahead, so you really need to keep your tabs on, say if your Zerg buddy does spawn on this side, you really need to keep tabs on this base, and this base, and this base, maybe even this base, and all the bases. You keep tabs on all the bases, because ultimately, if you let a Zerg get too far ahead, you're going to be in dire straits. Odd creep spread. Yeah, throwing down a creep tumor in this position. But, you know, it could help. Oh, actually, no, I see what he's doing. He's wanting to get creep up there, since this creep tumor... no, actually, that creep tumor does have a tumor that it can spawn. So, but now throwing down that once again. We do have thermal lances coming out for DuckloadRa, as well as a couple of Colossi on the way. And this is looking like a nice mix of units here. A lovely, lovely count of Void Rays. I absolutely love Void Rays. 2 bits, they're fantastic. Burrowing these guys. And those Phoenix sloppily being picked off there by those Hydralisks. Really wouldn't like to see that. Phoenixes, I mean, don't discredit them. They can be very useful in a tight spot when you need them. And especially for harass as well. If you have 3, you can just run into the back of the main here and picking up a few of these drones, so it's very good. But I like how DiMaga here is keeping a tabs on the expenditure of DuckloadRa with this Zergling, but Zerglings are dirt cheap. This is, I always feel jealous when it comes to Zerg because of the speed, mobility and cheapness of Zerglings. They're so strong as a unit. And DuckloadRa coming into the back here with this massive ball of units. DiMaga's going to have a hard time fending this off. He really needs to get in a good position to fend this off. Guardian Shield going up and a big amount of force fields going down. Really nice force field spread there, crushing the majority of these units in the front, only to have those separated in the back not being worth anything. Although that being said, DuckloadRa is getting slightly overrun. He really needs to move these Colossus down this ledge, but decides not to. So that was a pretty good defense there by DiMaga, and now that leaves this back entrance slightly open for DuckloadRa, and this could be prone to a massive counter-attack by DiMaga if he just streams units in. I wouldn't have been surprised to have seen this ball of units move in and then been reinforced by a ton of Zerglings, but DiMaga seems quite comfortable in how he handled that and is moving back slightly. Nice placement of this one Zergling here, burrowed, and he doesn't have an observer to notice this, so this Zergling is going to see everything that's going on here. So really nice play by DiMaga once again, an absolutely top-class Zerg, bringing this observer over here, but indeed he did not get in range of that Zergling. So whilst DuckloadRa thinks that he's got the upper hand on this potential engagement, DiMaga knows everything that is going on right here. This probe here and this Zergling having a little chat and throwing down a few spine crawlers in order to make sure that he doesn't get completely overwhelmed. So a few Mutalisks out for DiMaga at this point, and then we don't see much going around on the upgrades tab, just poking in there a little bit for DuckloadRa, and it's going to be trying to coax the Zerg in by just sniping away at this extractor, moving up, and then this engagement is going to go down. It really needs a Guardian Shield in order to negate a lot of this damage, but the Zealots are in good position, but there's just not enough here for DuckloadRa. He needs to move back, even with these. Oh, but he's actually pushing him back. No, he's not. He's just luring him back into these spine crawlers. Durr. And DuckloadRa, again, it really needs to move back. He doesn't want to keep throwing units at this because this is a losing battle, especially with these spine crawlers aiding this effort. And actually throwing cannons up. Bit of a aggressive stance here by DuckloadRa. I'm far more used to seeing DuckloadRa take a far more passive stance, but this is really aggressive for DuckloadRa and trying to expand there, but being blocked by the Zergling. Maybe I really want to see if he brings an observer over here to see that. No, he's bringing it the wrong way. Go over there. And DiMaga now just kind of expanding to the corners of the base, mining off here, but he is almost out at his main. He does end up seeing that Zergling, fries it and throws down that expansion. So really nice choice of expansion here, and this is not a very obvious choice of expansion to take, and the reason DuckloadRa, if you don't know why he's taking this expansion, is because it's on a direct attack route that he is currently using to DiMaga, so ultimately he can defend this a hell of a lot easier than he could a base up there, because his army is nowhere near there at all. So that's a good thing to note when you're playing at a higher level, but you know, it could be valuable as well at lower level, to take expansions on routes where you are currently attacking or defending in general. But DiMaga at this point does have a big flock of Mutalisk here, and it seems that he's just going to be pottering around. I would like to see these Mutalisks diving into the back of this base, maybe, as it is completely open, and these troops would take a hell of a long time to get back there. He is going to pick at these assimilators, but it's not really going to do much at this point. We do have Flying Carapace level 2 on the way for DiMaga, and these guys just picking away again, and Phoenix coming in trying to shoo these guys away and doing a good job of shooing them away. But again, it's not really that much for DuckloadRa. He's just kind of keeping Duckload on his toes, and DuckloadRa just trying to get his Colossi count up, and he does have 3 here, which are going to do a considerable amount of damage. A few Phoenix here as well, but I'm pretty sure DuckloadRa's going to have this beat. He's got a lot of mutalisks who are going to do massive damage if we can take out all these stalkers. There's not enough air defense here at all for DuckloadRa. Throwing down that Guardian shield, but these guys are just cleaning up so hard. Look at all the transfuses going down on those queens as well, keeping those queens alive for so long whilst that was going on. And hey, if you haven't seen the newest Fun Day Monday by Day9 at day9tv.blip.tv, go check it out, because it's all about queens, and Root Cats does some retarded things with queens. It's insane, to the point where I think they should be nerfed, but nobody uses queens like that apart from Root Cats, so it doesn't really matter. Getting a lot of these stalkers trapped in the back with reinforcing stalkers, but it's not going to be too much. That was a really bad place to advance with those stalkers, especially since they could have the swing around of these units here, even without this little creep kind of spot being here. Look at this huge creep highway extending towards the front of DuckloadRa's base, and it seems that DuckloadRa is really on the back foot with this. He's going to be moving in with some of these stalkers, but it looks like he cannot do a thing at this point. Spiking away at these, and DuckloadRa GG's. That was sort of anticlimactic. And that's that, folks. So DuckloadRa coming out the victor there, and I really do think that the main problem with DuckloadRa's play there was the fact that he massively, DuckloadRa massively out-ecoed DuckloadRa at that point. 5 base against 2.5, really. This base never really got fully functioning. It is quite well saturated, but nothing that could happen, really. I wouldn't have minded seeing DuckloadRa take this base here, and maybe this base. Nah, I'm not entirely sure how I would have done this, to be honest with you, as it's a very spread out map, and when you're against Zerg, if the mutalisks start coming out, which they did end up pouring out, you can spread yourself way too thin, and I'm pretty sure what DuckloadRa needed to do was kind of make a bigger death ball and then move in with a lot of Colossi, because at that point DuckloadRa was just kind of going for an eco build the whole time. He wasn't really worried at all. So yeah, that's that, folks. So thank you very much for watching this, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm hoping that this is over 15 minutes long. I was just kind of like stalling at the end to a certain degree, because I wanted it to be over 15 minutes. If you like what you see, please subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you guys next time. Sorry that this was today instead of yesterday. I was supposed to upload it yesterday, but we had loads of power cuts and blah blah blah. And oh, our hedgehog gave birth. How lovely. Pictures to follow. Sometime, someday. Otherwise, if we disturb her in the next 5 days, she'll eat the hedgehogs, the little baby hedgehogs, which is bad. So yeah. Anyway, thank you very much, guys, and I will see you next time.